Good morning. Friday morning, February 4th, 2022. Ken Arzon here discussing Baseball as a Numbers Game, a book I've written, 2022, available at Amazon. 84 chapters on the achievements and stats of Baseball Hall of Fame players, those who are in the Hall of Fame. Over 240 players. 162 position players and about 75 pitchers. I'm in the pitching section right now. I've covered 41 chapters of this book in 5 videos I've done. Baseball is a numbers game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be the 6th one, and I'm on chapter 42. I'm in the pitching section of my book. What I did was, from 1870 to 2016, there were certain decades that pitchers led in either wins, strikeouts, or innings pitched. So what I did in a lot of my chapters, about 6 or 7 chapters, is I took a decade and I said, who won the decade as far as pitching? So chapter 42, I have the decade 1870 to 1879, 10-year period. Who won that decade? Which pitcher won it as far as wins, innings, and strikeouts? And they're in the Hall of Fame. Not just other pitchers who didn't make the Hall. I focus on Hall of Fame pitchers. Who won 1870 to 1879? Al Spalding had 252 wins. Can you believe that? In 10 years, 252 wins. He pitched 2,886 innings. As far as strikeouts, John Ward won the decade. He had 355 strikeouts. So in 1870 to 1879, 3 pitchers made the Hall of Fame who pitched in that decade. Al Spalding, John Ward, and Pud Calvin. How about that? Chapter 43, I do the decade 1880 to 1889. Same criteria. Who had the most wins? Who had the most innings pitched? Who had the most strikeouts? Most wins? 1880 to 1889. Tim Keefe. Most innings? Pud Calvin. You want to know how many wins Tim Keefe had? He had 291. Pud Calvin had 4,693 innings. Who won the strikeouts? Tim Keefe, 2,200 strikeouts. So for each decade, I list the pitchers, who are in the Hall of Fame, who are included in that decade. Okay, let's go to chapter 44. Best pitchers, 1890, 1899. Who won it? Most wins, Kid Nichols, 296. Most innings, Kid Nichols, 3,997. But who won the strikeouts? Amos Rusi won the strikeouts, 1,835. Okay, chapter 45. 1900, 1909. Who won it as far as pitching? Most wins, Christy Mathewson, 236. Most innings, Cy Young, 3,476 innings in 10 years. Whew. It's like 300 innings a year. Strikeouts, Rube Waddell had the most strikeouts. How about that? Okay. You can see each decade has like 10 to 12, 14 pitchers. I'm not going to name all their achievements. Take too long. I'm just going to tell you who won the decade. Chapter 46, Best pitchers 1910, 1919. Who had the most wins? He's in the Hall of Fame. Walter Johnson, 265 wins. Most innings. Walter Johnson, 3,425. And most strikeouts, you got it. Walter Johnson, Triple Crown right there. He wins it. 2,219 strikeouts. All right. Chapter 47, best pitchers, 1920, 1929. Who wins that one? Burleigh Grimes, 190 wins. He wins the innings, 2,793, but Dazzy Vance wins the strikeouts, 1,464. Chapter 48, best pitchers, 1930, 1939. Who was the dominant pitcher in wins? Lefty Grove, 199. Innings, Carl Hubble, 2,597. And strikeouts, Lefty Gomez, 1,337. Best pitchers, 1940, 1949. You know who won it? The wins? Hal Newhouser, 170. Innings, Hal Newhouser, 2,400. Strikeouts, Hal Newhouser, Triple Crown, 1,579. All right, best pitchers, 1950, 1959. Most wins, Warren Spahn, 202. Most innings, Robin Roberts, 3,008. And strikeouts, Early Win, 1,544. Best pitchers, 1960, 1969, Chapter 51. Who won the 50s? No, 60s, I'm sorry. 1960, 1969. Who won it? Juan Marichal, 191 wins. Innings, Don Drysdale, 2,600. Strikeouts, Bob Gibson, 2,071. Best pitchers, 1970, 1979. Who wins it? Jim Palmer, 186 wins in the 70s. Innings, Gaylord Perry, 2,900. Strikeouts, Burt Blyleven, 2,300. Chapter 53, best pitchers, 1980, 1989. Who wins it? Jack Morris, 162 wins. Innings, Jack Morris, 2,400. Strikeouts, Nolan Ryan, over 2,000, over 2,100. Best pitchers, Chapter 54. Best pitchers, 1990, 1999. Most wins in the 90s. Greg Maddux, 176. Most innings, Greg Maddux, over 2,300. And most strikeouts, Randy Johnson, over 2,500. And then the last chapter, Chapter 55, best pitchers on pitching. Best pitchers between 2000 and 2016. Like I said before, I can't do 2000 to 2010 because from 2010 to 2020, there's not enough pitchers because you need a 5-year period to get into the Hall of Fame. So I stop at 2016. 5 years would be 2021, right? So there's not enough pitchers between 2016 and 2021 to measure their stats. So in this chapter, I do between 2000 the year 2000 and 2016. Who had the most wins? Roy Halladay, 194. Most innings, Roy Halladay, over 2,500. And strikeouts, Randy Johnson, 2,100. So Randy Johnson had the most strikeouts between 1990 and 2016. He had over 4,000 strikeouts during that period. Whew. So what do you think about the decades? Who won the decades? I thought it was interesting to find out who had the most wins, most innings, and most strikeouts. Chapter 56, baseball is a numbers game. I get into the top 54 pitching wins posted. You take an individual pitching season and you list the top 54 performances. John Clarkson had 6 of them in the top 54 as far as wins. Tim Keefe had 6. Cy Young had 5. Al Spalding had 5. Amos Russi 4. Bud Calvin 3. Mickey Welsh 3. You know who's number 1 in wins? Charlie Radbourn, 60 wins in 1884. That's incredible. Must have pitched every other day. I'll list the top 5 here. Charlie Radbourn, 60. Al Spalding, 54. John Clarkson, 53. Al Spalding, 52. John Clarkson, 49 wins. How about that? That's chapter 56. And I list the top 54 occurrences. And then what I do is I take all 75 pitchers and I list their best wins for the season. So like I said, Charlie Radbourn is number 1 with 60. And who's number 675? Mario Rivera. Why? He's a relief pitcher. Best wins for him was 9. Chapter 57, the top 50 pitching innings performances for a season. Bud Calvin had 9 of them as far as innings pitched. He led in innings. Charlie Radbourn, 6. John Clarkson, 6. Most innings pitched in one season. 678 innings for Charlie Radbourn. 2, Bud Calvin. 3, Bud Calvin. 4, Charlie Radbourn. And 5, John Clarkson. So you can see I list all top 50 innings. And Bud Calvin had 9 times he was in the top 50. Whew. Then I do the 1 through 75 again, as far as the best number of innings pitched in a season for each individual pitcher, 75. Charlie Radbourn was 678 innings as number 1, and number 75, Trevor Hoffman, had only 81 innings, and that was his most he pitched in one season. Okay. Chapter 58, I do the top 52 complete games. Bud Calvin again had 9 listings as far as leading in complete games. But the most complete games, number 1, Charlie Radbourn again. Gosh, wins, innings, and now complete games. He's number 1. 73 complete games in one season. 2, Bud Calvin. 3, Bud Calvin. 4, John Clarkson. 5, John Clarkson. So I list the top 52 occurrences. Then I do the all 75 pitchers. Charlie Radbourn, 73 complete games, is number 1. And then as far as number 78, as far as 75, as far as all the pitchers, Lee Smith, Mario Rivera, Trevor Hoffman, and Bruce Sutter never had a complete game. So there's 0. But they were relief pitchers, not starters. Okay. Chapter 59, the top 51 pitching strikeouts posted in a season. Top 51. Randy Johnson, 8 listings. Nolan Ryan, 6. Sandy Koufax, 5. Steve Carlton, 3. Most strikeouts in one season, Hall of Fame player, Charlie Radbourn, 441 strikeouts in 1884. Whew. 2, Nolan Ryan. 3, Sandy Koufax. 4, Randy Johnson. 5, Bud Galvin. Then I list the highest strikeouts total for all 75 pitchers, their highest. And I list them 1 through 75. Charlie Radbourn, number 1. Ted Lyons, that comes in at number 75. 74 strikeouts was his most. Chapter 60. Top 51 earned run average posted. Who had the best? Walter Johnson had 8 listing out of the top 51 performances. 8 times he led the league. But who's number 1 on this list? Tim Keefe, 0.85 ERA. Whew. 2, Mordecai Brown. 3, Bob Gibson. 4, Christy Matheson. 5, Walter Johnson. Again, I list the top 51 performances. And then I go 1 through 75 as far as the pitchers. ERA totals. Chapter 61, top 55 pitching shutouts posted. Shutouts. Who had the most listings? Grover, Cleveland, Pete Alexander had 5. Walter Johnson had 5. Christy Matheson had 5 listings in the top 55. Most shutouts in one season, Pete, Grover, Cleveland, Alexander. 16 shutouts in one season. 2, Bob Gibson. 3, Pete Alexander. 4, Bud Galvin. 5, Walter Johnson. Then I go through 1 through 75 of all the guys' highest number of shutouts in a season. Okay. Chapter 62. Top 50 games started posted. Who had the most starts in one season? Well, the top 50, Bud Galvin had 9 listings. Charlie Radbourn, 6. John Clarkson, 6. Who's number 1? Bud Galvin, 75 starts in one season. Whew. And I go through all 75 pitchers and how many starts they had. So baseball is a numbers game. I wrote 84 chapters, and I'm on 6. I've covered 62 of my chapters as far as an overview of what's going on in each chapter. Highly recommend this book. My next video, I'll cover pitchers, combined stats, ranked. I rank them. So for now, I'll finish this video and I'll get on to the next video shortly. Thanks for watching. I'm out.